G'day mate, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included with me, JD. So, in the last episode, and as always, there'll be a link up in the top right hand corner, along with down the description or at the end of the video is a link to the playlist if you want to catch up on all of this tutorial series. Last episode, we covered how to use our excess hydrogen that our electrolyzer is producing to run it into a second hydrogen generator to just boost the amount of power we have on the network. As you can see, we really run the risk of blowing our network currently because we have potentially 2 kilowatts worth of power on the line. We also attempted, once again, to fix up a priority system with the water, but, you know, it is what it is. This episode, I think we're going to get a farm up and running. In fact, I'm positive we're going to get a farm up and running. Now, we have this water supply, which is pumping across and dumping into this water tank slowly. There is a lot of water over here. And, of course, a liquid pump moves 10 kilo. Plumbing. Liquid pump moves 10 kilo per second. But when you consider each tile is 1,000 kilos, that's 10 seconds per tile. There's a lot of tiles in here, so it's going to take a while to empty this out. We do need to look at our storage system, or our storage in sooner or later, because these are starting to get very, very full. Not that the duplicates really have a lot to do now. Even with just 8 of them, you know, they are getting through, sweeping up the base, cleaning up the base. Most of the time, I have the advantage of we're using creative mode to get things happening a little bit faster, so they're not doing nearly the same amount of build and dig tasks that they normally would. So yeah, a farm. Okay, so I have a smart battery over here and the compost over here. I really want to move the smart battery and put it near the power, or at least out of the way, so I can turn this whole area into a farm. And if we go back to our room overlay, we do have a greenhouse. So a greenhouse gives you accelerated plant growth. And it also lets you put in a farming station, which will then let the farmer come along and fertilize the actual plants to have even faster growth. On top of that, actually, it's 2 other things I want to look at. We have 8 jobs mastered, and something we set up a very long time ago is we had a water cooler in a... We had a mess hall and a recreational room right beside one another. Now, to go from a mess hall to a great hall only requires a recreational building and a decor item with plus 20 decor. So if we go over to the decor overlay and we see our Bluff Bazaar has 26 decor. That is a single decor item with at least 20 decor. So if I go back to our room overlay and deconstruct that, we have suddenly got a great hall, as quick and easy as that. We've lost our recreational room, but it's no big harm or foul, because we've gone from a morale bonus of plus 3 to plus 6 by literally taking out 2 doors and having future planning. So it's very easy to upgrade from one to the other. We do want to keep with our style. We want crown molding right there, just to keep with the theme that we've got running. At the same time, we can put more recreational items in here, along with, if we really wanted, we could actually make another recreational room further along, you know, in this gap we've got saved, or in fact anywhere else in the base. As for our jobs, so we have our ranching. Our rancher has finished ranching. We did say we wanted somebody who was good at art. So ranching plus 5 has 4 skill in being an art student. So this will let the ranching duplicate also the ability to make a blank canvas, can produce artwork using a blank canvas and a large sculpting block, and can make crude quality artwork. And I'm telling you, they are really, really crude. So we need somebody to get through this whole tech tree. Artwork is not something you're going to have a lot of. So generally, it's one of those multi-purpose dupes where I have somebody who has completed this tree, but their primary job is somewhere else in the base. Our chef can get upgraded, so they needed to be here to know how to use the electric grill. When we move them up here, they get another +2 to cooking. So as you can see, maybe we can't see. No, we can't see because the game doesn't. Can I? No. Okay, fine. They get another +2 to their cooking skills. We have kindness +4. I actually want to move them because they're still athletics -3. They're still really, really, really slow. I want to send them across to be a groundskeeper, which is down here. Again, it's more running around, which is perfect for them. Our farmer can go... So the current morale is 10, but now we've got a great haul. We're going to get +3 to that. So it actually means their morale is going to be 13. So I want to move them across to be a farmer. Again, bonuses go from... farming skills increase their chance of harvesting new plant seeds. So we go from +2 to farming to +2 to farming and crop tending and micronutrient fertilizer crafting. So that lets them actually use the farming station I mentioned earlier. Again, with another +2 to their farming skills. So we can already see we're up to farming 7. When they put on the hat, they'll actually have a farming of 9. Our digging person can come up to there, and that's pretty much it for our jobs. And everybody's going to have to come over here and change their hats. So we're just going to skip through really, really quickly because I want to see the farmer. Okay. So farming +5, skills, farming 7, new hat, farming +9. Okay, so 45% harvest speed, 23% tending speed, and 30% seed chance, which is significant. Alright, so smart battery. Power, smart battery. Nope, there's a plant in the way. The plant's now gone. Power, smart battery, right there. Automation, hook that to there. Copy settings from there to there. Now I really wish there was a way to uncharge this battery and charge this battery. Unfortunately, there isn't. And if I leave both batteries connected, this one will charge up at the same rate this one charges up. So that when this adds 1 kilojoule worth of power, this one will also add 1 kilojoule of power. The only answer is either run, as we've done in the past, run the whole system to 0 and use all the power, or deconstruct it full of power. Unfortunately, we're going to have to deconstruct it. Because we want to put a farm over here, I need to deconstruct our compost, and we need to clear some area. So we're just going to get rid of all of that. We're going to go to automation overlay, deconstruct. We don't need that automation. We do not need that pipe, any of those pipes, any of those pipes. We do not need any of these power cables anymore. We do not need this pump. But we do need a farm. So a farm is a greenhouse. A greenhouse is 96 tiles. Now, we've been building everything horizontal up until now. There is no need to build things horizontal. You can build things in any funny shape you can possibly think of. And that is basically what we're going to do this time around. I want to leave myself. I want to leave myself a 4 tile gap, so there, to build another room going this way. And because our ladder's there, we want to probably keep this ladder point. So I want to dig that out as well. Now, on top of that, because this is a farm, I want to start looking at insulated tiles. Insulated tiles basically have a negative decor rather than a positive decor. Lose that run bonus, but slow down, I won't say stop, slow down a heat transfer between one room and the next. At the same time, we want to put in a pneumatic door, and I actually want to put that in the top. I want heavy gases, because the heaviest gas is carbon dioxide. I want heavy gases to be able to flow into this room, and light gases like oxygen flow out of this room. I want to have basically somewhere for my carbon dioxide to go. Unfortunately, we're generating it here, and it is flowing this way. And, you know, we still have one of these guys going who will actually disable at this point. Now all the water's gone. So our carbon dioxide is going this way. We may need to either pump our carbon dioxide somehow from here into this room, or we just move the coal generator up here and just let it naturally flow into this room. So I need a room that is 96 tiles. And honestly, when you come to funny shaped rooms, 9 times out of 10, it's just easy to turn on the room overlay, find out how big the room is, and then work out stuff from there. So we want food. We want our farm tiles back. Food is generally 2 tiles tall. So I'm going to put food in there, update the room. It's now only 68 tiles in size. We're going to dig out a bit more of the room. We're going to put in another row. Where are we? Food, that one. $76 tiles. We're getting there slowly. And we want 96, so 2, 4, 6. And we've got 76, that'll be 82, 88, 94. So if I come out 3 tiles further on, like that, plus that, plus that, plus an edge, put in an insulated tile, go back to our room overlay, and you'll straight away see this is going to be too big. But as I go back to our farm tiles and fill it in with farm tiles, it should come back to 94 tiles in space. Okay, perfect. So, a couple of other additions we need. We need to dig that out, dig out the whole bottom row, because we want to start insulating these rooms. Our food supplies definitely require some sort of regulated temperature. Everything else could get a little bit hot and a little bit cold, but our food, if we go over to our millwood, requires a temperature range. As you can see, it only goes up to 30. We're at 24.5. If we bring up temperature overlay, you can see with just the machinery we've put up here making oxygen, things are starting to heat up. Same with our plumbing. Our plumbing is causing things to heat up as well. So we really want to make sure our farm stays at a set temperature. Now, if we go back to our research, we don't actually have farming stations. We haven't completed the research. They are here. So, and there's also the hydroponic farm, which lets you stuff like the bristle blossoms, which we had earlier, and we've been naturally growing when and where we can. Need 20 kilograms worth of water per cycle. Duplicates have to deliver that. If you put it in a hydroponic tile, we can just run plumbing straight through the tiles, and they'll be fed automatically via, obviously, the plumbing in the tiles. So, research-wise, we're going to go into the research, and we're going to get the farming station. Which means, well, we get a couple of new things. We have the hydroponic tile, which we just covered. We also have the refrigerator. Now, the refrigerator we haven't dealt with yet. We have had this warning here about having all this food that is not refrigerated. As you can see, stale 4%. Things are starting to get a little bit icky. Putting them in a fridge will definitely help. In saying that, it does chew 120 watts continuously, which is the same as having one of these oxygen diffusers running. It really adds up over time. I'm not really big on the whole fridge thing. We also obviously picked up insulated gas pipes and a gas shutoff earlier. We picked up a fertilizer synthesizer. So fertilizer synthesizer takes in polluted water, dirt, and phosphorite, pumps out natural gas, not a lot, just 10 grams a second, and fertilizer. Fertilizer is what we actually need to run into the farm station, and that takes in 5 kilos of fertilizer and applies the farmer's touch to these different types of plants. So as you can see, no mealwood, but does affect a lot of the more advanced cooking, or the more advanced plants as the game continues along. It's unreachable build because we need ladders in. We need ladders in there, and stations, farm station, which is made out of metal. So we really want to change it to that gold amalgam, and done. So room overlay, 97 tiles. That's frustrating. So it means that tile has to go away, and we're going to replace it with a normal tile. Done! We now have a greenhouse. So I would really like to plant fungal spores in here, which require 5 to 35 degrees Celsius. If we go to our temperature overlay, we are definitely in that zone. As you can see, out here it definitely starts getting warmer. So it's something you have to keep in mind. This is why we've put down the insulated tiles. The insulated tiles will heat up over time, so we're going to have to do something in the way of cooling down here. But they take in slime 4 kilos per cycle. Now, slime we have over here, and it has a lot of germs on it. In fact, it's actually sprouting out more germs every cycle until it maxes out. And we've got some more slime over here. Same story, it has a lot of germs. So planting dust caps means we actually have somewhere for the for the slime to go, which means we don't have to deal with the germs anymore. At least that's the intention. Now, dust caps are these guys down here, and you'll only find them in a slime biome. At the same time, you sort of want to avoid germs to get to them. So we need to find a way to dig in here, to dig up these two, to start planting them, to start propagating our own. So the easiest answer is probably putting that on there, using the mop command, priority 9, along with the dig. I'm going to come across like that, straight up there, which we're going to replace with a ladder now that we've drawn it out. And we're going to get all this done. Yeah, priority 8 seems about right. And we're also going to dig priority 8. We're going to dig those two guys up. Now, one thing we haven't done for a very, very long time is turn on auto harvest. So I want to, and it's something you should do every now and then as you sort of expand out further, is turn on auto harvest at a fairly high priority for everything that you can see. With the idea of when you crack into an area, you do want the dupes to harvest it. Like, we have thimbleweed right here, which is giving reed fiber. There it is. Reed fiber will go towards creating clothes and all sorts of things, and it's something you are going to want your hands on in fairly high quantities as time progresses. So having them harvest that, especially as it's naturally growing, you don't have to deal with it, really, really, really will help you as the game progresses. That's polluted oxygen there, with polluted water down there. So what actually we want to do is, because we're going to come past this, we can dig up that at a lower priority and put down a couple of deodorizers. Because we are going to want to open the security door to find out what's in here. At the same time, we might get access to other goodies. So, back into creative mode really quickly, because nobody wants to wait for the dupes. Dig that out. Put in our ladder. And now we have to wait for the dupes to get them down here to dig up these dust caps. So, I'm not sure whether we're harvesting them or digging them up. We dug them up. But we now have a couple of fungal spores that we can plant down here, priority 8. And we're just going to copy and paste the whole area. Food is decayed again. Yeah, rotten lice loaf. Yeah, this is why we want to move across wherever possible to the other materials. Alright, so we've got a couple of dust caps in here. They require fertilization, being slime, 4 kilos. And they also need carbon dioxide. So we need to look at our overlay and say, okay, we've only got carbon dioxide. Woo! You, stop. Cancel. Copy. Thank you. So we only have carbon dioxide really, like, there is some oxygen mixed in here. Really, it's the bottom level. So I'm going to copy that setting to all of these. I'm going to start plating with the bottom level. Dead set. I know your job in life is to farm. Alright. It now has farmer's touch. Its growth speed is 100%. And we're about to dig it up. Because it will never grow because it's in the wrong environment. So, more importantly, this episode, we've got somewhere for this slime to go. Now, ideally, I'd like to store it in this room, and it's something we didn't really cover. There are ways to store it in here, and do I have the room? Okay, I do have the room. Alright, so let's get it done real quick. Alright, what we're going to do I have the room? Yeah, I need a tile there, I need a tile there. Are you stuck? No, good. I'm going to deconstruct another one. Stations. Farming station down there. Storage bin. Down here. We're going to put organic slime. So we're going to have all the slime. And we're going to set this to a super high priority. So it ends up being put down here. And there's something else. Oh, it's more slime. That's what it'll be. So, once we put slime in here, you can see it's bubbling off polluted oxygen. There's lots of different ways to deal with that. Like, we could just put a couple of deodorizers up here and have the polluted oxygen slowly vent out. And once it gets to the top, have it being dealt with and turned into plain oxygen. But really, we want this room to be solid carbon dioxide. So, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a bottle emptier up here. And I'm going to set you to be water. And I'm going to set you to be pitcher pump. Really? There's no way to... You used to be able to bottle from a pitcher pump. Okay, that's weird. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we need to enable auto bottle. So I'll actually have a duplicate run over to this pitcher pump, pump water out, hopefully. Hopefully you bring it here. Yep. And then we're going to drop that water into this tile because it falls straight down. We can see we've got 113 kilos of water in here. If I need to get an exact amount of liquid in this tile, so I only need 10 kilos, I can watch this count down in normal speed, and then I can untick this very, very quickly, which will have the water bottle land back on the ground. If we get just a little bit of water in here, 10, 20, 60 kilos, that's probably enough. Untick that, the bottle of water's down there. Because this now has water in it, technically my slime is underwater. Because my slime is underwater, it cannot possibly be one tile too big again. Copy. No, B. There and there. Problem solved. Because it's underwater, it can't off-gas anymore. So, very, very quickly, we've completely solved that problem. And if I take my water here and I sweep it, priority 9, it'll go up into here, which is set to sweep only for both polluted water, and disappear, and I never have to see it again. So, we have our very own tiny, itty-bitty start of our mushroom farm. It's nothing special, but it is enough to get us up and running. It's also going to give us access to enabled by automation grid. Just nobody can be bothered filling it up. Also, it will also give us access to these fried mushrooms. So this will take in mushrooms. Do I have the ability to look up at mushrooms yet? Mushroom. Mushroom with a morale bonus of 0 and turn it into a fried mushroom with a morale bonus of 1. Again, 24 calories in, we fry it by adding power to it and a little bit of deep oil, hot oil, and we get out a quality of +1. So it actually upgrades the quality of the food and adds a few calories. Same as most of the other things do in the electric grill. So, right there is where I'm going to actually call it for this episode. We've completed this episode's mission. As for the oxygen, eventually as duplicates come down here and breathe out, our carbon dioxide will fill up. Now, by all means, we can put a pump down here and pump more carbon dioxide in. It's probably not a bad plan after our power usage goes down from this pump being finished. As there's also carbon dioxide over here we can get access to. Not to mention, as the game progresses, there are other machines that will output carbon dioxide. But yeah, once this room's full of carbon dioxide, because it is the heaviest gas, it'll sit in here and every other gas will float out of the room, right? Or just won't be able to get in. There is a little bit of ups and downs according to gas pressure, but hopefully you don't encounter that too often. And my answer is, I just always make sure I have somewhere into this room a gas vent that just puts a little bit of carbon dioxide in at all times, sometimes with smarts, sometimes without, just to make sure that the carbon dioxide in this room stays nice and topped up. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Next episode, we're definitely going to be moving on to ranching, because I think that's going to be our next problem, because we've got all these hatches around here doing stuff. We've got a hatch over here. We've got a egg turned baby hatch here, another one there. We've got another egg incubating here, which is only 30%. Our shine bugs, there's actually only one left, which is probably a bad thing, because there were quite a few of them, and I really don't want them to die off. Oh no, there's another one. Who... He's hungry. So yeah, we need to find some way to feed the shine bugs. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you're enjoying. And I will catch you in the next one. Alright, bye.